Good evening. Friday, May 29th, 2015, and it's 5:30 p.m., and this is a meeting of the Law and Ordinance Committee. My name's John Schweizer, Committee Chair, and to my right is Ms. Lynn Snee. Bobby Phillips is away. We are here tonight to discuss legislative action regarding prohibiting certain substances from public right-of-way. Mr. Livingston, will you be...
I can make the presentation.
Okay.
Okay. The city has a duty to keep sidewalks clear and free from hazards and to keep them from being damaged. While we've allowed chalking of sidewalks that can be done without interfering with the lawful use of the sidewalks by others, we've discovered the spraying of sidewalks using a silicone-based substance that is slippery when wet, is almost impossible to remove without damaging the sidewalk, and takes a long time to wear off naturally. We are concerned about the city's liability if someone is hurt because of the hazard that we know about but did not do something to prevent. We've discussed this with our insurance pool's lawyers, and our proposed ordinance that amends our sidewalk ordinance to add a provision concerning prohibits the placing of any substance on any public sidewalk that cannot be removed by water and a broom, and it cannot be removed without damage to the sidewalk. This permits the continuation of temporary writings on the sidewalk, but preserves the city's interest in keeping the sidewalk safe, hazard-free, and free from damage. And it applies to everybody. In addition, we note that the Strawberry Festival has become a part of Troy's identity, and that part of it is the painting of strawberries on the downtown streets around the square, which for years have been repainting for the Strawberry Festival, then remaining on the streets as part of our downtown landscape year-round. Our second item before you is a resolution accepting those painted strawberries as part of Troy's tradition and identity, and permitting the continuation of that tradition in the limited area of the downtown streets around the square. We have proposed both ordinance and the resolution to be adopted by emergency to be in place as soon as possible.
Is that it?
That's what we have.
I'm
sorry.
Go ahead.
What were you going to say?
I was just going to say, does the ordinance for the substance that would go on sidewalks, is that spelled out in the ordinance? In other words, would it be acrylic paints?
What we would propose is an ordinance that says we propose to prohibit any substance that can't be removed with a water and a brush and a broom, or that can't be removed without damaging. So, for instance, if someone were to put, and that's at any sidewalk, any place in the city, if someone wanted to, say some kids wanted to chalk, something about Kyle's school on front of their house.
A hopscotch game or something.
Or a hopscotch game. That'd be permitted because that can be washed off. If somebody wanted to paint the hopscotch game on their sidewalk, they couldn't do that. Or this substance that we've discovered, this silicone substance, which what it does is it's sprayed on, and then you can't, when it's wet, the water runs off of the letters, and the sidewalk that's around it gets wet and gets darker so that the sign pops up. And that's what I understand is slippery.
Okay. Ms. Snee, any questions?
I don't think so. That seems pretty clear to me.
Okay. Anyone in the audience have any comments? Mrs. Oda, do you have a comment?
My name is Brian Kemper. I live at 412 West Canal Street here in Troy, Ohio. Just want to ask if everybody in attendance has a copy of the letter from my attorney and has read that copy. Is there anybody that has not received a copy of the letter from my attorney?
I have not received the letter.
You have
Is
not
it the one
received
we received by email?
Yes. You've not received it, sir?
I have not looked at mine all day,
I
so.
have it printed out if I may approach and hand it to you.
You can hand it to Mrs. Knight. I believe that was a letter that was written, was that addressed to you?
I think probably was. And a copy to, I think it was a copy to all the, I just looked at mine about 5 minutes ago. It looks like it was sent to all
Yeah,
councilmen and Mrs. Baker.
okay.
Mr. Tangent, did you receive a copy of the letter?
I received it through my attorney.
Okay. I will let this letter stand as my comment.
Okay. Mrs. Oda, did you have any comments? Anybody else in the audience? And we're talking about two different pieces of legislation here,
It would be, yes.
a resolution and an ordinance?
That's correct.
Okay.
One would be an ordinance amending the sidewalk, existing sidewalk ordinance about what you can't do in the sidewalk. Nails, put trucks across to that kind of stuff. Amend that, add a section about and the other one would be a resolution accepting the strawberries as part of the tradition painted on the downtown
Okay.
area.
And just to confirm, the strawberries that you're mentioning are the ones painted on the streets?
Yes.
Not on the
No,
sidewalks? on the
nobody would be
streets?
able to paint on the sidewalks.
Right.
Would that include the selfie station paintings, stuff like that's being put on sidewalks right now?
What is this?
Those would not include those because those are removable and they are not a slip hazard. We checked on that
That they're
the other
removable
day.
with Russian water, sir?
I'm not sure how they're
That is
removed.
what's
I think they
correct.
can
Just
just
wanted to
be.
clarify.
I can't understand what you're
Russian
saying.
water.
My understanding
What?
is they can just
You
be
said-
peeled. They don't even need Russian water. They can be peeled off. So
But it would include
not
all
concerned
the
about that.
businesses with strawberries painted and all the strawberries that get painted on
We're not
sidewalks?
making
That is-
anybody remove anything that's already there.
Okay.
However, they would not be able to
They wouldn't be able to refresh it.
refresh,
Refresh
it.
it.
So they
They
once
couldn't
they're
repaint
done, they're
anything
done.
new.
Okay, just clarify.
Further questions?
We'll move forward.
Move forward, emergency.
Let's move forward with emergency legislation. Anything else come before law and ordinance?
No, sir.
No, sir.
We are adjourned. Enjoy your weekend.
Thank you.